Good morning, everybody. Here we are on July 28th. It's my last work day before vacation. Yay! At least in the store. We still have the Sunday worship and preaching and stuff to do. Anyways, it's exciting to be able to get some time off and be able to spend it with my wife and the kids. We're going camping, which involves a lot of swimming and playing and card games and such. So we're looking forward to that. Today we were continuing to read through Isaiah. No, sorry. It was the Kings and dealing with some of the Psalms and looking again with Hezekiah and what he was able to overcome because he turned to the Lord. And the encouragement is there because he turned to the Lord. He overcome a vast enemy. And the enemy came and was taunting him and saying, you think your God's going to save you? Because the gods of the other nations didn't save them. And we know that it sounded horrible. We know um, who he was talking against, but the king of Syria didn't know. Um, he thought that Yahweh was just like any other idol, nothing, no power, just a hope that people believe in, because there's something in them that yearns to worship something greater than themselves, which is knit into us because that's why we were created, to worship the one who's greater than ourselves, who was Yahweh. But people don't necessarily turn to Yahweh because they don't know, and that's why we need to demonstrate. But anyway, so here's this king, and he's mocking God, and so often in our lives we have people who mock our belief, who mock our God, because they think he's no different than any other belief system, any other religion, and it's our fault because we created a religion out of what was supposed to be a relationship, and we're the ones who turned it into a bunch of rules and regulations and ceremonies and whatnot, and it's just supposed to be one of the freest relationships you have that you will ever know that ever exists in this world. And what we've done with it is such a shame. It's so horrible, and we've got to allow the Holy Spirit to undo that, and it's going to take a while. But we need to start having authentic relationship, authentic. We need to pursue God, press in the way he wants us to every single day. And it's about relationship. It's about freedom. It's about love. It's about self-control. It's about submission, surrender. All these things are involved in it. And we've been invited to freely, in our freedom, surrender to the one who loves us more than any other could possibly love us. And we see in this that as Hezekiah turns to him, it trusts God, turns to God, and lays the whole thing before him, we see something that looked impossible to the Assyrian king. How could little Judah overcome him? How could little Judah resist him? Of course, little Judah can't resist him. Of course he can't. The vast army that he has. Till he wakes up and there's over 180,000 of his soldiers dead for no reason. They're just dead. And then his sons turn on him when he gets home, and that king is killed. Wow, what looked impossible. Here was this tiny little acorn standing up against this fierce beast, and the acorn won. Now, all these events are given to us for a reason. It's to show us Father's heart. It's to show us that nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. In the kingdom realm, there is nothing impossible. In the realm of our King, nothing is impossible. We are not supposed to have any fear, because where there's fear, there's a fear of punishment. There's a fear, and there's no punishment. There's no punishment. Even if we mess up, there's no punishment. There's restoration. He's called us to restoration. He's called us to return to that relationship with him. So, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. should be so full of joy and peace today. It's just incredible. We're on the Lord's side. We're on the Lord's side, and He loves us. He loves us, and He shows us His way. He shows us. He shows us to have a life full of abundance. He shows us His ways. It's His ways. He's the one who shows us His righteousness. I last night, I don't know what was going on, but I woke up praying about His righteousness. I dreamt about His righteousness. I dreamt that that was the pearl, that was the secret, that that was the key, and that I was to press in and chase after. Yeah. So there's nothing in this world that can overcome us. We're here to overcome the world. We're here to overcome the enemy. We're here to torture him. He has nothing on us. He can't do anything against us. He has no authority at all. So be blessed, be encouraged in this day. There's much more going on than what you and I realize. And God is greater than we can possibly fathom, beyond our imagining. And the goodness and the favor that He pours out upon His children is, again, beyond our imagining. Don't limit Him today. Receive from Him. Whoops, sorry. Receive from Him. Just entering the day like this. Receive from Him what He wants to pour out to you. And just get rid of punishment out of your vocabulary. It doesn't exist. Not in this age. Not with what He's doing with His children. So be blessed, be encouraged, and talk to you later.